Do you want to learn about new media or just want to improve on what you know while having fun? Tonight's show is for you. Stay tuned to Connecting Our Community, coming up next. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Connecting Our Community. I'm Karen Allen. Our first guests tonight are Omri Haberman. His title is Media Training and Coordinator with Montgomery Community Media, and Mandy Wyndham, Training and Volunteer Services Coordinator, also with Montgomery Community Media. Later in the show, we're going to meet one of our active certified volunteers, which I am as well. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
You've both been here for a while. I've been here forever as a volunteer and a professional. So we get a chance to talk about Montgomery Community Media and tell the community all about what people can do that have absolutely no experience but want to produce or want to be a part of a production. This is what you guys do. Okay, so we are recording the show here at Montgomery Community Media. Used to be Montgomery Community TV. Now that it's all media and there's digital and there's a wonderful website, we'll tell you all about that later. First of all, Mandy, talk about a brief overview of what MCM is.
MCM, I think, is the hidden gem of Montgomery County that doesn't need to be hidden anymore. But we are Montgomery County's only nonprofit public access and media center. We do a wide variety of multimedia platforms. So we have television, we've got web, we've got everything under the sun, and it's awesome, and it's a great place to be.
And what do you exactly do? Because your titles are, you're in the same department, but your titles are different.
Yes, definitely different. I wear many hats here at MCM. I'm the volunteer coordinator, training volunteer service coordinator actually is my official title. So I pretty much play matchmaker with our volunteers, our producers, and our technicians. I plan a lot of volunteer events. I also teach classes. I'm very involved in our youth media program. Gosh, I do.
You're the smiling face that greets absolutely everyone that comes to do any role of anything in this place.
Yes,
really.
Pretty much.
There's not an event that you're not at. One of the things that I know I can speak about is like you have the cable, what's it called? The
Monty Awards? No.
The Monty Awards is one thing, but you also have the cable meetings where you actually talk about what's going on in either production, cable, computers. I'm going to bring Omri into that too because I know he's taught one of them that I actually took. And these things are free if you're a member. And by the way, membership is nothing, almost nothing, basically nothing. Omri, let's get to you because you are a teacher of many different classes and the computer knowledgeable geek around here. That's at least according to me because I know nothing. Tell me about what you do.
Well, you get the geek part, right? So I'm the media training and coordinator here at MCM. That means that I'm pretty much the lead instructor of our core classes, which are field and studio classes. And we pretty much teach people how to operate the different equipment, how to produce shows, and how to have a lot of fun.
People aren't expecting, I think, to be able to come in and do what they see professionals do behind the scenes. Everybody knows what behind the scenes looks like now. Now, and we're not saying that people are professionals. People are amateurs, retirees, students, young. You got kids 12 and 13 years old taking these classes and directing my own show, FOMO, which plug. Everybody that's watching this, of course, is watching FOMO too. But you guys are invaluable to the knowledge that you share and the fact that you're ambassadors. Because people don't exactly always know what TV is. Now, in the age of YouTube, in the age of everybody having a camera and vines and things like that, people are more educated on, would you say, Omri, on being able to shoot anything. Facebook Live, for crying out loud, and a witness to history and things going on, good or bad. But I think what you're more focusing on is how to put that all together into a program. And that program then contributes to the community, would you say?
Yeah, so the nice thing is that if people like to watch TV, why watch TV? Why not be part of TV? And we have whole families taking the same class, and it's wonderful.
That's easier to get a crew, I think, when you have a whole family.
Yeah.
5 people or so right there that can do different. Talk about, speaking of what I was about to say, which was the different roles that people play, just such as they are today in our studio, who are recording for us in the control room, those different classes. Tell me either one of you, what are some of the positions, as I call them, or roles, operations-wise, that these people can learn? Because they're below the line and above the line, which, explain what that means. You know, below the line being technologically, and above the line being more of a producing script type thing. You guys do it all. So tell me what some of the positions are and what people can learn.
So in our studio, for example, we have cameras. You got to learn how to operate them. It's not just, like a small camcorder that you hold like this.
Right, for Vines and YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit more complicated than this, although it's very easy.
Yeah.
We also have a teleprompter. When you read the teleprompter, somebody operates it with a small controller.
Right.
In the control room, we have an audio board. We have a production switcher, which is a lot of fun. You switch to different cameras. You can have all kinds of different effects and transitions. And then we also have the character generator, which is the lower third. So if my name comes up or your name comes up, well, there's somebody clicking some buttons to make it happen.
Right. Hopefully it's spelled right. Of course, on this show it's perfect.
And if you're a good producer, you will check that before the show.
Yeah, and if you forget, then you're not such a great producer. Hello. But some of the things that you teach, Mandy, for example, because your classes are also varied.
They are. I teach our backpack journalism class, which is where our students come in. They learn to be reporters, camera operators, and editors of their very own news stories. So the teenagers get to pick their own topics. They go out in the community. They have to do their research and interview. It's really cool, and they are so creative. They come up with the most amazing things.
And they produce a video at the end of that, correct?
They do produce a video at the end of that. And
that
then
is the coolest thing.
It's fun.
Do you happen to mention to them that that's what the stations are looking for when they're
Yes.
hiring local reporters, MMJs?
They do. I do.
Multimedia journalists.
And they're so excited, like, I can get paid to do this? And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, totally.
Well, not much, but yeah.
It works, It
Yeah.
helps them and gets them on their
And
career.
they start young.
They do. They really do. I have 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds in there. It's been awesome. And you can actually watch all of their projects on my MC Media's YouTube channel. We have Backpack Journalism. Omri also teaches a green screen class, so you can
I
see
was
their
going to
shows
ask
on
about
there.
that. That's a very good thing to
Yep.
bring up. Yeah. Speaking of green screen, can we explain what green screen is for those who don't know?
So in the studio we're sitting in right now, behind this curtain right here, there is a green screen, a professionally painted wall with a green screen. And we teach people how to pretty much change the green into whatever graphic you want behind you. You do it with the production switcher, and we do a whole summer camp like that. We also did a spring break camp, and there was such a high demand that we even had another one open with a waiting list.
That is awesome.
That's fun.
And in case people don't know, I mean, we've seen green screen really become very, very modern, and to the point where people can see the green sometimes because it's part of the joke. But you can pretend that we're like sitting in Jerusalem right now
Yes.
at a coffee house having coffee, or then we can change it to a football game or something, which I think is very cool. And
Yes.
people have seen that, but maybe don't know to identify it as such.
Right.
But we're not really there. It's kind of fake, but it's fun. And it makes-
Exactly.
I mean, Oprah has used that. Ellen has used that.
So in the green screen camp, we take it to the next level.
Yeah.
We put whatever graphic we want behind us, and then in the foreground with the character generator that I just told you a second ago, we can put dinosaurs or all kinds of crazy effects, and they love it.
That's so much fun.
Yep.
Definitely for all ages.
Yeah.
The range here is like 12 or 13 to, I mean, like 80 or something. I mean, people are quite elderly and working some of these things and producing their own shows, and more power to them. Frankly, that might be me soon.
They're awesome. We love our
Yeah,
volunteers.
And where else
fantastic.
would you see three generations working
Exactly.
together?
That's
Exactly.
right. Yeah, I think you said it's the hidden gem.
It is.
Why do you think that is?
I think now with social media, which is another class that I teach all of our social
Yeah,
media
yeah.
classes, and I think with that, we're starting to become more popular. I don't think people really realize what kind of resource MCM is here. Like Omri said, we teach people how to be television technicians and television producers, and they just don't realize that they have that right in their backyard, and it's awesome because they can come in here and create all types of media, and the youth are getting super excited. We have our new Explorer program that just started this past year, and I think we're starting to become more of a brighter gym than a hidden gym, which
Yeah.
is awesome.
I mean, you can get all the day's local news on
Oh,
the
yeah.
website every
Yes.
day, which didn't used to be back in the day
My
when I
MC
used to work
Media.
here,
Yep.
professionally, and things have certainly,
Right.
gotten huge as far as what the coverage and what
Exactly.
what they can do here.
Right.
What are the steps that someone needs to take who wants to take, let's say somebody wants to sign up and take classes, what do they need to do?
All they have to do is go on our website, look for our class list and upcoming classes, and just decide which class you want to take. If you need extra help with that, you can always contact us. We'll guide you through it. That's what we do. And it's very easy.
And
Just
you can
sign
be a
up.
complete and total novice and beginner and have
Yes.
zero experience
Zero
and know
experience.
absolutely
In a
nothing.
matter of days,
Yep.
you become a pro.
That's right. And then I'll take you to be a crew on my show because we need all the crew we can get. That's part of what they
Yeah.
do here is alternate and get people to work on different shows and different shows, and usually you'll find me begging for that. And okay, and so Mandy, how do you help someone that might contact you that wants to be a part of MCM?
Well, I guide them again to our website, which is www.mymcmedia.org. And like Omri said, you go to upcoming classes and go through. I also talk to the person and see what they're interested in. Somebody might be interested more in a studio production, or somebody might be more interested in field or post-production, editing, our youth programs, whatever it is. We get them to sign up for our orientation class, which is the prerequisite to take pretty much any of our classes except for our spring break and our summer camps. They come into the orientation, we tell them everything they need to know about MCM and how wonderful we are, and get them to sign up for classes. Once they've taken the classes and successfully completed
You let them loose.
I let them loose. No, not totally.
Not totally.
I work with our producers with their first show. We set up a dry studio, and then we do their first show. So they're not totally alone. The field producer, same thing. We set up a consultation, work with them, and get them kind of going. So believe me, they're not totally alone, but we can do some fun stuff with them.
I think people are allowed to advance at their own pace.
Exactly.
Nobody's expecting you to be a complete and utter perfection on everything that you do, like a camera.
Right.
A camera takes practice. It's not that hard, but it takes practice. Everything really takes practice.
Exactly.
And the more you come, the more you improve and get better. We will be saying the website again, mymcmedia.org. Really, really briefly, there's an awards program that happens once a year. I just want you to really roll on that out, real quickly, so people can have something to look forward to.
It's my favorite event of the entire year. It's our Monty Awards, and that's where we get to recognize all of our amazing and wonderful volunteers. It's like the Montgomery County Emmy Awards. So all of our producers are invited to submit their shows. All the information comes out in the summer, and then in the fall they have this big award ceremony where we go to a theater and they walk across the stage, they get their Monty Award,
They have their picture taken.
Have their picture taken.
It's
It's
awesome.
wonderful. It's a fun event, and it's great, and it airs on mymcmedia.org
Right.
as well as the Montgomery Channel 21 and Access 19. And
I should mention
great.
that, channels 21 and 19. And before we let them go, we should say that the programs that we all do are aired
Yes.
and aired and aired again and again and again. So that's the content of here. Wow, you guys, fantastic. Thank you. Omri Haberman.
Thank you.
Mandy Wyndham, thank you. And I know that you'll be hearing from a lot of people that want to sign up. Don't go away. We want to talk to a volunteer when we come back. Stay with us.
When you donate goods in response to an international disaster, it's expensive.
They have to cross the sea, pass through customs, be inspected, sorted, then finally delivered.
And often they arrive too late to help, making your good intentions feel a little empty.
There is a better way.
Cash donations are fast, simple, and allow professional relief workers to purchase supplies close at hand.
Cash is best. Learn more at CIDI.org.
It's our duty to serve veterans and military families who serve their country in the most difficult ways imaginable. Together, we can say thank you in so many ways. Small acts of kindness mean more than anything. With our support, veterans and military families can face even the most difficult challenges. Let's honor their service with ours.
Joining us now is a volunteer. Let's see, oh my gosh, all the classes that he has taken. He is volunteers on shows. He produces his own show. He's also recently elected to the board of directors. He is known as Sing. And by the way, Mandy is still with us.
Hi.
She didn't go anywhere.
No.
Okay, so Sing, thank you for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome.
What brought you to MCM? What do you do? What's your day job, and how different is it from working here?
Honestly, I had nothing better to do, so I thought I'll just waste my time over here. I'm kidding. Day job, I'm a visual artist officially. That's what I'd like to call myself. And I was being interviewed at one of my exhibitions, and I wanted to go into the field of media production or videos. And I spoke to the person and to give me a crash course because he was interviewing me, and he said, well, since you're from Montgomery County, we have this Montgomery Community Media, and why don't you try them instead of taking a class at a college or institution. So it was quite a surprise for me because I was in Ohio at the time giving the interview, and the guy was from Montgomery County.
That is really now
And,
the ambassadorship, Mandy, that you
yes.
extended in Ohio is
that's
very
awesome.
considering the budget is incredible.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
So all the way over there, and you made a note to come here and take some classes. Describe, just briefly roll off some of the classes that you've taken so people can understand what you've done.
Well, the two separate fields which incorporate media production. One is field, one is studio. Studio is right now where we're sitting. Studio technicians, which includes all the equipment that helps you to produce a show, and then there's the producer classes, which give you the insight into the amount of effort it takes for a producer to basically get everyone together to produce a show and invest the money and all the logistics that go into it. Then comes directing, which I've also taken, which is fun.
Good, we'll talk because you know here I am recruiting for my show, and somehow
Maybe I shouldn't talk too much then.
You should. Somehow you have not been recruited for my show, and that's absolutely impossible. I thought I've talked to everybody at MCM.
Yes, your days are quite We'll not go into we'll go into that afterwards after the show.
But Singh, you have really done it all here, and on top of that, you've been elected to the board of directors. What do you see your job there as?
It's a highly unfortunate moment in my life.
That's what everybody's saying, but
Yes.
but you still were elected.
I was, I can't believe people voted for me. I might have bribed them. No, I mean it's on a serious note. It's quite an intriguing and interesting opportunity for me to represent the access users on the board. And given, all right, you might have to edit this out. But given the fact that the previous two members after Marion who left, we honestly had no idea who they were, and I was getting quite frustrated with some of the things that were happening here, or at least not knowing what was happening here.
Right, you needed to find a voice. There's nothing wrong with that.
So when the opportunity came around, I was like, okay, fine, I'm going to apply. I actually got bullied into applying, or coerced into applying.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
The fact that you are contributing in that way, and it also shows our viewers that they can take a part not only in classes and in working in the studio or the control room and producing, but they can also be on the board of directors where, as you said, no matter what your opinion is, you have your own voice.
Yes.
And you can express that voice representing access users the way that you like this time.
And
Because
that's
there's a
essentially
lot of
what-
stuff that happens in the business of TV, even though it's on the amateur side or the volunteer side. And everybody has to just sort of work together as a team, which is part of TV anyway. You can't do it without a team.
And that's the community aspect of Montgomery Community Media. So.
Is that what attracted you to MCM?
To MCM? No, it was just the idea that the classes were so cheap. I mean, it's like for one class what I would pay at a local institution, I can take all the classes and get hands-on experience rather than wasting my time reading a book, which I don't really.
That's a good point. You won't get college credit, but
That's
you
true.
will definitely get the kind of hands-on experience, right, Mandy?
You
Mandy,
definitely
you can
do.
speak to that because there's nothing you haven't done here.
No, you're
She was the
absolutely right.
person who actually got me in, because when you walk in, as you said, a smiley person, smiley face. I mean, she's the face of MCM. So yeah, take it away, Mandy.
Thanks. No, I do agree. Our classes are super reasonable. They're meant for our community, so members of the community can come in and actually produce their own shows. You know, we are a platform, and that's one thing that a lot of people don't realize. You know, you have the internet. We have, a Facebook. You know, we've got almost 22,000 followers on our Facebook. We have, coming up to almost 5,000 followers on Twitter. You know, so everything is just huge now, but we're a platform that you can use to let your voice be heard. You know, that's so important because if something's important to you, I'm sure it's important to somebody else in Montgomery County, if not all over the world, because, with the World Wide Web, mymcmedia.org, you can see all of the shows on, the different channels. And like Singh, he's doing some really great shows, two on totally different ends of the spectrum right now.
Can you talk just briefly about your shows?
Sure. Well, I actually have 3 shows. The third one I haven't submitted anything so
Okay.
far.
Oh my goodness.
The
That's a lot
first
of
one
work.
is called.
Shocker.
That's a lot of
Sorry.
The first one is called The Future Generation. It's essentially we're digging into fields and opportunities or job markets which most people don't know about, like being a nose or a perfumer. Being a sommelier, which most people.
That's right.
So some hidden aspects of job markets which people don't really realize that are prevalent, and they could tap into. The other show is a food show, which keeps getting pushed back because I want. That's my child essentially. So I want to make sure that it's as nice and it represents me the way I want it to.
It's about food.
It's about food.
Okay.
It's about food.
What kind of food or variety?
A variety of food. Essentially, everyone who lives in Montgomery County has a story to tell, and given it if they're from a different state, different country, because each state, even in the U.S., has different varieties of food, and I'll be nice to people. It's essentially representing them and their culture via food, and then they come on the show, they cook their food, and then I put my spin on it afterwards when I'm cooking them. So that's where the modern aspect.
So you're cook on the show too.
Yes, it's a
awesome.
traditional.
I look forward to that.
Yeah, it's traditional aspect, which is the traditional cuisine, and then we have the modern aspect, which I bring in, and I Some people say I destroy food. Some people say I'm being creative. I couldn't care less. It's edible. I like it.
That's what counts. As long
Yeah.
as it's edible, I'd say.
And you might see some familiar faces on that show too.
Yes, yes.
Right.
Omri is there.
Omri was on that show.
Yes, I tried to get Mandy on. She was like, no.
No.
Oh,
I'm not a cook.
Yeah.
that's okay,
Wow.
as long as you can eat. I think
Yes.
that's all,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we could do that.
Mandy, just remind folks
Sure.
that aren't familiar with MCM, what kind of shows do we have here?
Oh my goodness.
Because they really run the spectrum. There's
Yes.
and languages sometimes
Yeah,
too.
yeah, we have a very eclectic collection of shows. We've got news magazine shows, we've got debate shows, political shows, dance shows, music shows, food shows, cooking shows, interview shows, forward motion.
Plug that again. That's right. Plug that again.
I mean, any type of show.
Any subject.
Yeah,
you know.
any type of subject.
Exercise shows. I've
Exercise
seen
shows,
them.
yes.
Musicians,
sis-
performance.
We have religious shows, inspirational shows, cultural shows. I mean, any type. We have several different languages, spoken. Farsi, Spanish, Mandarin, English. I mean,
Yeah, it's truly, I'm going to use that cliche, but melting pot.
It is.
Really,
It
truly
really
is
is.
a melting pot, and you can do
Yeah.
anything you want here, which I love that. I think you can
It's
just
very cool.
any idea, wacky or not. To you it may be, to someone else it
Yeah.
may not be. I think that what I like also about it, from my years of experience here, is that you learn to get better at doing it. So it doesn't look like Wayne's World. No offense
Right.
to Wayne's World,
I
but
like Wayne's World.
I do too. But
we've
it was
evolved
making
so
fun-
much.
Thank you. Go there.
So much. We've evolved so much. We use state-of-the-art equipment.
Which people don't expect.
No,
They
no, you
expect
don't.
it to be somebody's basement
Yeah.
stuff.
No,
And
totally
right.
different. I mean, if you want to use a green screen, we can totally put you in a basement, but we're not going there. But we have state-of-the-art equipment. We do record fully in HD in both of our studios. We have this studio, Studio B, which is what we're in right now. We also have Studio A,
Which is 3 times the size of the
it's
studio.
huge. I consider that our blank canvas. That's what I always call it.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, I do believe that is the largest working television studio in the Mid-Atlantic region, which is huge for us. It's
That
huge.
is, it's very big.
And you can do a ton of stuff in there. I mean, you can change the lighting around. You can do all kinds of cool effects, and it's
But
very
you do
cool.
want to be educated somewhat before doing
Yes,
it. Because
which is why you come here and take our classes,
Exactly.
and we teach you how to light in there, and we teach you
That's a
how
class
to
I
use
need to
everything.
take, lighting.
It's a good class.
Lighting's
It's
a very
good
important class.
It
If you're afraid of
is.
heights, I would not
Oh,
recommend it.
and here's the fun thing. So all of
Yeah.
our teenagers that are watching right now, we do offer SSL hours. So you come here, you take the class, you successfully complete that and learn how to do everything, and you can totally get SSL hours
Very
doing that.
important.
I've had a student get 180 hours within 1 year just because he volunteered on evenings and most of the weekends.
That's amazing. Another person I failed to recruit. This is not good, but now that
And
I'm
he's
getting,
graduating.
oh darn. Well,
The best part
whatever.
about being a technician or even a volunteer at MCM is that you get to meet so many different people from different parts of lives, and you always have something to learn, not just in terms of being a technician or the equipment that's here, but just life experiences.
Right.
Because we have a whole bunch of tall Steve Denning, or I call him Tall Steve. I give nicknames to everybody because there's so many people named Steve. It's like,
true.
how can you keep count? So he is an amazing person in terms of lighting. He does theatrical lighting, and he also works for technology aspect. He's an expert on Microsoft, so I've learned stuff from him. We have Mike Bailey, who does the Jazz Encounters, also one of your competitors, I would say.
No
My competitors
competition
as well.
here. I don't think of them all as competition at all, actually. Everybody
family.
actually gets a slot because we have a wonderful programmer named Stuart Garfinkel who programs and everything into a slot. And for Channel 21, there's also Channel 19, of course.
Yes, and Lisa does a great job
Lisa,
programming.
there you go.
Yeah. There we have a
I
great
couldn't remember her
programmer.
last name, but yeah.
Lisa
just-
Clark.
Lisa
She's
Clark.
great.
Wanted to give her a shout out too because that is a hell of a job. But everybody that does a program will find that program on the air. I think people might not understand that you will have a time slot. If it's a regular thing or not, they'll find a place for your program. Like you said, and it's diverse.
It is.
So I think that's wonderful. I want to tell people where they should go to. We've said it a few times, 200 times.
Yes.
But just so that we make it very clear, mymcmedia.org, okay? It's also, I can give the phone number. mymcmedia.org is the website, and there's everything you could possibly want is on there. There it is on the screen. You can also call 301-424-1730. That's 301-424-1730. Everything you could possibly want to know. Either you will get Mandy on the phone or Omri, who you saw in the first segment, and they are wonderful ambassadors for everything you can do at MCM. And also, Connecting Our Community has a blog. You know, this show that I'm hosting right now, Connecting Our Community, has a blog. You can find that also on the mymcmedia.org website. So I thank you both so much. Last word For the public, what do you want to tell them?
Make your own TV. I mean, come out to MCM and just enjoy the opportunity that this place has to entail. I mean, it's a fantastic place to start your, to realize your dreams. I'll put it that way.
And you can talk about him on the board of directors and anything you want.
Exactly. Yes, you can. Your grievance is welcome.
That's right. Thank you, Singh.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Mandy Wyndham, thank you so much. And Omri earlier, I want to thank everybody for joining us. And I am Karen Allen. We will see you next time on Connecting Our Community. Bye-bye.